I'm Savvy Mike, and this is I Am Savvy Mike TV. And basically, the biggest topic, the biggest news story this week was Shannon Sharpe getting sued by a sex worker. And if you don't know, if you've been under a rock, or if you just don't pay attention to the news or the entertainment news, really, Shannon Sharpe is being sued for $50 million by Tony Bosby and this girl named Gigi. Apparently, she's not a white woman; she's a Spaniard. I guess that matters, even though it doesn't. She has no melanin in her body, and if I just saw this one woman just randomly walking somewhere, I'd say she was white. So yeah, she's a white woman. But either way, I guess she could speak a little Spanish. I don't know. Regardless of it, this is what everybody's been talking about all week. We've been getting responses, we've been getting updates. Okay, and apparently, I dropped the video. It's Shannon Sharpe getting fired from ESPN after Stephen A. Smith. After we reacted to the clip of Stephen A. Smith addressing the issue. So, I asked that question, and then the next day, everybody was asking that question. And I was like, and nobody cared about me asking the question. I think the video flopped. So it was like, oh, well, as nobody gave a fuck about clicking on me talking about him getting fired. Everybody else, we care. But regardless of it, now we got Mace. So Mace is here. And an update, Shannon Sharpe wasn't fired from ESPN, but I guess they are amicably parting ways, or not even that, just like a separation thing, Like if ESPN and Shannon Sharpe was a marriage, they're separated. Not divorced, not officially over, but while the couple goes through the things that they're going through, they're just kind of separated for a while. So Shannon Sharpe says he's separated from ESPN until August, till the preseason football season. We'll see. But yeah, it's not looking too good for Shay Shay. I mean, the biggest problem that everybody's having with this is we can tell that this is a shakedown. We can see that, yeah, they're just trying to take money from you, Shannon. Nobody thinks he did anything to this girl. Nobody thinks that. Everybody's just like, yeah, look, we get it. But the fact that you offered to settle with her for $10 million and they said no, something's wrong. Something's not adding up. Why would you even offer any money? Like, no, take her to go to court, prove that I did what you're saying I did to you. And when you can't prove that, I'm countersuing you for defamation. Like, just let it play that way. Why even offer a $10 million settlement to begin with? Like everybody else has been saying all week, that don't look right. It makes it look like he might be a bit guilty about some of this stuff. Not all of it, but something might not be right about whatever this was, or this relationship that he had with this OnlyFans chick. So yeah, either way, we have Mace defending Shannon Sharpe and saying, yes, I agree, this is definitely a shakedown. Now, if you don't know, Cameron had defended him a few days ago. I don't know why Mace is just finally saying something. I think he said this yesterday. I don't know.
And for him to offer 10 million says that there might be some truth to this, because I'm not offering nobody no 10 million if I know I didn't do anything. And I think the only reason that 10 million didn't work, Killer, I want to know how you feel about this. I think the 10 million didn't work because the pimp need his cut. Just allegedly. I'm not saying there is a pimp, right? Let me give you. It's just an idea. This is just an idea, right? So if there's a pimp, right? Why y'all keep laughing? I know this is why they flew me back in. They wanted to know my take. But listen, all jokes aside, if the girl said I want 10, this may be the lawyer, right? Just hypothetically, all of these things, right? And the guy who put her on to Shannon was like, you didn't even know him. I put you on him. You didn't even know who that was. You was asking about college.
About college.
Yeah, this is your Thurgood Marshall right here. Him right there. For real? Yeah, that nigga worth a lot of money. You know how guys be, and they pushed her on her. And then she said 10. And he was like, 10 is my 10. You got to put in your number for yourself. That don't have nothing to do with mine. 10 is mine. That's what we discussed. I'm just telling you, I ain't been out the streets that long. I know this is how peace think, you know what I'm saying? And if somebody's watching this and you know that behavior, you just put it in the chat and say it's Mace lying. And then another thing I want to look at in this whole entire case, right? I heard something about 50 or 25,000 a cheek.
25,000 a cheek.
That's what she texted him. She need 25,000 per cheek.
What are you doing with a cheek to pay 25? If I hope all of this is untrue. If it is true, then they gotta do something about this. If ESPN can endure this, then they should give guys like Paul Pierce his job back. They should give Matt Barnes his job back.
Yep.
And even Michael Irvin, our own Michael Irvin, should get his job back.
Yeah.
If people are not just gonna, honor what they supposed to honor, to me, I believe that he should keep his job if he's innocent. But if he's guilty and ESPN keeps him, then ESPN need to give all those people their job back. But I don't really know how this is going to turn out.
That's very true.
And I saw really was the interview with Stephen A. when he was speaking of it. And I was watching it very carefully, Killer.
Stephen A. said something about this already?
Yeah, because Stephen A., he didn't stand with Shannon Sharpe like he stood with Jay-Z. When he heard about Jay-Z, he said, the guy I know, this is not true. When it came to Shannon, he was like, I wasn't there.
Yo,
in a nutshell, yeah.
I gotta keep it static, you know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't there for Jay-Z neither. You wasn't there for Jay-Z. You were not there for Jay-Z, but you went out on a limb because of the character of guy you know. So I'm not saying that you're wrong for that. I'm saying I would have thought that the same standard would be there, right? For a guy you work with every day. Or not every day, but,
Damn near.
And I'm not taking a shot at Stephen A. It's just an observation.
Not a bad observation, to be honest, Mace. Not a bad observation at all. Honestly, that whole response from Stephen A. was weird because it sounded like he was basically just trying to be a mouthpiece and warning Shannon, hey, this is what the people above me, above us, like the co-chairs and the CEOs, this is what they're thinking about all of this. And they do not like how it's looking. They don't like you responding in public to it all. They don't like the whole optics of the fucking lawsuit. They don't like none of it. And if we know Disney, we know that evil Mickey, because Mickey can be good Mickey. Oh, good Mickey here. Look, we can get good Mickey, but Mickey could turn evil quick. Like that mouse could go crazy, especially when it comes to that bread. Especially when it comes to that bottom line. That mouse ain't playing. Oh, give me my money, Shannon. Oh, no deals for you. Oh, start running with his money. Running with the bag. Just Mickey don't play. Mickey don't fucking play. So yeah. This made sense. At least the separation part of it all. They're not going to officially fire him because, at the end of the day, they probably believe him too. They're probably like, yeah, you just was fucking with some young pussy and she knew you were rich, and so she was trying to trap you any way she could, whether that be through the baby gravy, whether that be through pay for plays, I guess, because apparently they were having consensual sex 100 times a month, apparently. Like that's just all the statements that are coming out. So yeah. Shannon should be okay, though. He still has his platform. See, that's what ends up happening, right? The major platforms might distance themselves from you, but you still got your platform. You still got Nightcap, Club Shay Shay. Like, all that, I believe he owns. So, once the storm passes, once it all dies down, and you hopefully get this resolved in a way that's beneficial to you and your image, then we'll be back to Uncle Shannon. The Black and Miles in his mouth. All types of bullshit that he was doing. Anyways, let me know what y'all think. Is Shannon Sharpe cooked? Like, is he like fully cooked? Like, done for real? Or is this just a storm that's going to pass by in about a month or two? Let me know in the comments below. I am Savvy Mike in this. I am Savvy Mike TV. Peace.